We used to be married.
So we were together for 8 years and married for 2.
And in the midst of those 8 years, we met Jesus.
So we started watching church online and got curious of who God really was.
And then we decided to join a local church, but then we experienced a bit of unfair treatment due to our relationship, which caused some church hurt.
So we started to do the walk ourselves.
During that is when I learned who Jesus really was and not who the world has painted him out to be. And my love for him grew.
I was still on the fence, but I still started walking.
Then fast forward to us having an encounter on a car ride home, and then we both knew it was time to separate.
As much as we loved each other, we knew that we had to love God more.
I wanted to get into this story that I've been holding on for a minute. I mean, when I saw these girls on TikTok, I was like, wow, this is amazing. So why don't I share it with my channel? Well, I never did, but I thought this would be the best time to share it. I mean, it is the month of June, and some people refer to this as the month of pride. Now, I want to get into their story, but before we do me a favor. Like this video so the algorithm can push it out and other people can watch it. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you know when I am coming on. And shop at CorgenHair.com for your hair care needs. Now, let's get into the rest of the clip.
Like, how did God even come into play?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Where did that come from?
So, I guess that would
that's
be
on
me.
you.
Yeah. It started with me first.
Yep.
So, like you said, at this time, we're living together. We're in a relationship. And my car has broken down. I had, like, water in my engine. Like, it was out of commission completely. So at this time, I also had started a new job, which that was like about 20, 30 minutes away from where we were living at the time. So I had to Uber to and from work daily, and that was like really hurting my pockets. There was this one girl who, she was really kind and she knew my situation. So she was just like, I can actually like pick you up on the ways to work. I don't live too far from where you live. So I was like, okay, cool. Great. That can save me some money.
Yeah. Little angel.
Yeah. I see that now. So yeah, then we get into the car. I get into the car in the mornings now with her. And she would have like her phone set up on like the dash. And it'd be playing these sermons. So at that time, the sermon she was playing, it was, his name is Pastor John Gray.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that would be playing on the car rides, but it wasn't like loud and in my face and her like preaching at me. It was just something she kind of had lightly playing in the background, like for her routine. And so now I'm hearing this every morning, and it was catching my attention because he spoke in a way that I could understand. It was different than what I've heard before.
Yeah.
With the mother preachers with the heavy breathing and
oh my God, the theatrics.
Yeah.
Stop.
Saying a bunch of things that I don't understand. Like he was really like relatable and like funny. So it piqued my curiosity. So now since I'm curious, I started like looking up sermons on my own, like at home in my free time and stuff. And I got to a point to where now I'm not even waiting until I got into the car with her to work to watch a sermon. I'm watching it as I'm like getting dressed and ready for work. So then one day I'm watching the sermon, getting ready for work, and at the end he does an altar call where he was like, if anybody needs to accept Jesus into their heart, or if you're going through whatever and this and that, I know someone who could help you, whatever it is that they say. So I was like, oh, yeah, that's me. I could use some help. I'm going through it in life. So I just repeated what he said. Yeah. And he was like, okay, you're saved. And I was like, okay. I don't feel any different. What does that mean? But okay. And I go about my day.
Yeah.
So, and then now at this point, I'm like watching sermons like more regularly, like I said, and I'm now playing it out loud in the house, like putting it on the TV.
Yeah. So doing what your friend did, just like sneaking a little bit of Jesus in.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like intentionally to sneak it to you. It's just like,
you're watching
I'm watching it.
Yeah. So when I was like cleaning up the house or whatever, just walking by, I'll be like, is she watching? What is this? Who is this? I'm like, okay. Yeah. Like, all right. But then there was a few times that I would stop and be like, okay. And to a point where I started watching a little bit, like, at work, and I worked at like 5 a.m. at that time, and usually I'll play like my hype ratchet music in the morning, but instead, like, I put my phone up and just started listening to him preach and feeling the same way, like, wow, this is like relatable. Nobody's ever spoke about God in this way. And I was just like, okay. And I started kind of listening to more worship music at the time too. I was like, something about this is making me not feel so anxious and angry in the morning.
You know, the peace.
Yeah.
Nina and Kandy decided to do a podcast called Nevertheless, speaking on their relationship with God, their relationship with each other, how they got married, all of the things from beginning to end. Now, this podcast has 7 episodes on it, and I truly want you to go hear their story because it is amazing. But I took this small clip because I wanted to discuss it with you. I've said on my channel plenty of times, that God is a mysterious God. And so many people believe that they know what God will do, what he won't do, how he will operate because they have read the Bible from cover to cover, or because they've been a Christian all their life, or whatever religion you say you practice. Doesn't matter to me. But what I always say is God does not operate the way we think he will. He doesn't do things the way we think he will. God is just extremely mysterious. And even though he gives us free will, he still wants that relationship with us. He still wants us to be saved. And he will do whatever it takes to get us there. And so in this particular clip, the young lady said, I got into the car with somebody because I needed a ride because my car got messed up. And this was a co-worker that I barely knew because I started a new job. I'm laying foundation here. And this co-worker just played John Gray, Pastor John Gray. And all I could do was sit there and listen. Won't God put you in a situation where you can't do nothing else but sit and listen? And so she began to sit and listen on the car ride to work. So much so that it got in her spirit. And she wanted to listen on her own. That is how God operates. He's not going to force you. He's just going to ease his way and drop little breadcrumbs. That's what I like to say. Drop little breadcrumbs. Because some of us are hard-headed. And so if maybe someone like me or you would have went to her saying, the Lord loves you and he don't want you to be gay. He don't want you to be in a relationship. How many times has that worked? It may have worked for some people, but it doesn't work for all. God knows his children and he knows exactly what we need. And Nina, who was not born or raised in a Christian household because her family was like, God, who? Like, what? No, we ain't going to church. We don't do that. She had to be introduced to the Lord in a different way. Whereas Kandy, the other young lady, she knew the Lord, but she wasn't convicted in her wrongdoing, even though she knew of God and even though she had been raised in a Christian household. So because of Nina listening to the sermons in the house, that caused Kandy to start listening to the sermons as well by Pastor John Gray. Now, I know a lot of people don't really like Pastor John Gray because he's had some things that he's had to deal with. But remember, God can use anyone. And Pastor John Gray was used in this situation with these young women to make them come up out of their marriage, divorce each other, and follow God. And I think that is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So please go listen to the podcast. Please go watch all 7 episodes. I promise you, you will not regret it, especially if you are someone who is dealing with homosexuality and you don't believe that you can be delivered. Here is proof.
Yeah. They hate that we're still friends. Yeah. They think that you're divorced and you guys should never talk again, and you're gonna be tempted, and if you're really like, the comments is wild. Crazy. It's so wild.
I get the concern a bit.
Yeah.
But that's not the case here.
Not at all.
The way they're going so hard for it, as if us being friends is a sin, is crazy.
No, I think it's such a big blessing. Like, how amazing that it is for us to go through this journey and God just completely transform us and our relationship so that we can still be in each other's life. Because he could have said, like, no.
Yeah, because we submitted this to him.
Yeah, still. We definitely submitted to him. We gave it the space. We fasted. We did all the things. And it was very clear. Yeah. It was very clear. So I'm so thankful for it. So it may not look like what y'all think it should look like, but
we good over here.
Yeah.
I don't think they consider how you're like one of the only people in my life that could relate or understand, like, and like the underworkings of everything, like what happens behind the scenes, the details and in and outs of like our family dynamics and all this stuff. Like, people don't consider that. They just have a certain mindset, like, oh, it should be like this. Y'all are wrong.
Yes. Yeah. And also, it's like when we're going through it, how people didn't get it, so we didn't have anybody to go to. To have that moment of like you being like, we got this, like you, like us being each other's like backbone, us telling like, nevertheless, like I needed that, because if I didn't, and if I isolated myself, the enemy would have took me back.
Yes,
the enemy would have been like, and now you on to me, and I would have been even worse. Honestly. So I'm thankful for the way that God did it.
Now, from my understanding, the women are no longer together. They no longer live together, but they are still friends. And they say that they're not tempted. They don't feel any temptation to want to go back that way with one another. And I also think that that's even more beautiful, that they're able to keep the friendship that they once had. But I want to know what you think about this whole situation, this particular video, and this I don't know, this topic, I guess. Do you believe that God can deliver people without having any temptation? Do you believe that these women should remain friends even though they once used to be lovers and married to one another? What are your thoughts on this whole thing? I want to hear from you. So drop your thoughts in the comments below, because that's what I'm here for.